morning, everyone. I'm so sorry. I overslept and it's like the second week in a row. Maybe it's a summer thing. I don't know. Maybe it's a. I went out last night and had a couple of cocktails thing because, uh, and I'm not used to. Believe it or not, for someone who does their live in a bar at their house every week, I don't actually drink that often. I did when I was younger. Uh, when you have your 20s and you get a little her. Um, but I don't really that often anymore. So when you do, it's sometimes you oversleep. Sometimes your alarm means nothing when it goes off at 9 a.m. Apparently, I don't know what I did to it. But good morning, good morning. I don't have my background. Can everybody hear me? Okay. Good morning, Deborah. Hopefully, y'all can hear me okay. And good morning and happy Sunday. I'm gonna let's start with saying good morning to Brenda Reed. Mwah. Good morning, Brenda. It's good to see you this morning. And good morning, Johnny. Hello. It is good to see you, Johnny, my love. Ingrid Otter, Michael. Hello. Hello. I hope things in Texas have cooled down a little bit. Yeah, Michael, my angel. And good morning, Asia Dancer. Kristen, good morning, my show me homie. Sophie, good morning. Hello, just doing some listing. I guess it's afternoon for you, so good afternoon to you. Just doing some listing. Awesome. Can't sell it if it's not listed. Good morning, Jennifer. Mwah. Hello, gorgeous. It's good to see you. Where is she? Yeah, that's she's I was about to say she's either talking to us without hitting the live button. Also, have done that when I first started doing Streamyard. I did like a whole half a show before I realized. Yeah, it was fun. Good times. Loud and clear. Okay, Sleeping Beauty. Well, I don't know if it was Sleeping Beauty. It may have been like sleeping. I've got a headache and the back of my throat feels like I've been snoring all night. So probably sleeping, sleeping monster, snore monster. Anyway. Mm. Mm. Good morning, Amy. Mwah. How are you this morning, beautiful? Love your face. I love your face. You got a pretty face. It's okay. I knew what you meant, hot mess. We're good. We're straight, baby. Yeah. So here's an interesting thing. Um, y'all know I don't like paying full price for anything, but I do love shopping. So it's very rare for me to pay the ticket price on anything. I grew up and I don't know, I just grew up with sort of frugal habits, and I haven't really changed that much. Again, I do love shopping, but I don't pay full price, and usually I purchase from resellers because I know that I'm getting a good deal. So, excuse me. So my friend and I went to this drag brunch yesterday morning, and it was fun. Not the best drag brunch I've been to. The one in Chicago was fantastic, but the super cute bird dog shirt from your closet, but it was wrong size, but so super cute. Oh, thank you, Michael. I like good taste, and I cannot lie. Um, autocorrect is not my honey. Autocorrect is nobody's friend. Yeah, they'll take anybody prisoner. It's no respecter of women or man. So we go to this brunch and then we leave, and it was an okay brunch. It wasn't bad. It was just just wasn't as polished as it was uh, as some of the other ones I've seen. But we had a good time. We had fun, and we went across. There's like a little brick walkway, and it's like a little sort of gallery, little avenue called the Foundry. And so we go across the Foundry's little cobblestone, street to like these little shops just to check out what's in there. And I came across a 1920s raw silk robe. and they were asking $340, and it was 100. I mean, it's like silk that's like it's raw silk that's like 100 years old, and it's painted. So I don't think that that's actually an unreasonable price for it. And it's the type of thing that if I found it, in the bins or out in the wild, I would go nuts over it. If I found it at an estate sale, I would be turning cartwheels. But also, I decided, you know what? I work hard, I deserve it. So I bought that robe. And then, and here's the rub. And take notes, kids. Take notes, young married ladies. Here's the thing. And then I texted my husband and I said, "Thank you for the anniversary gift." And he knows, after all these years of marriage, he knows that if I text him something like that, it means A, I bought something that is for me, pretty expensive. And I spent more than $100. And B, it means that he doesn't have to shop for our anniversary. So it's a win-win for both of us because I get something that I really, really love. He doesn't have to shop for a special occasion, and we're both happy. And the key to a true marriage is the key to a good marriage. I feel like is like coming up with ways to make your strengths and your weaknesses work for you. Yeah, it was a win-win, right? Like it's just one of those things where over the years we figured out that unless I send him the actual link to something, usually he's a little like I have to go, okay, I want I can't just go, oh, just pick me up some gift certificate or whatever. I can't do that. I have to go, okay, I want a gift certificate from this spa for these services. And I need for it to be 12 months instead of 6 months. And then, I mean, like, I have to be that specific. Otherwise, it's just, I'm going to have these weird high expectations that he's read my mind because he loves me so much that he's got ESP now. And I see this a lot with a lot of young ladies. They're like, well, if he loves me enough, he'll figure it out. And I'm like, girlfriend, nobody loves you enough to where they can read your mind. Nobody. Your best friends and your mom are about the closest, and only because people that close to you relate non-verbally. And yeah, I was like, okay, and this has happened before in the past where if I come across something I really love. Now he bought me something that I really love for this special day, and his shopping's done. And for my husband, that is totally worth it. It's totally worth it. It's I have a very narrow field of what I truly, truly love. So yeah, yeah. So happy anniversary to me. And it's not until the end of next month. So don't, actually, it's 2 months from now. But, Grandpa got it. He got it. And I got this raw silk, this 1920s long robe. And y'all, it fits me. And not everything vintage will fit a chubby girl. Hello. Yeah. That's what I said, Deborah. It is a total win win. It's okay to treat yourself in time. Yeah, I just bought a pair of $109 leather pants because I could, and Kevin can't complain. That's awesome. I leather pants in Texas sound it. I got to be honest, Michael. That sounds a little hot. It sounds a little hot. Although Texas in the wintertime is actually I've been there in like January, I think it was, or yeah, I've been down there a couple times, and I in like the middle of the winter. Texas is lovely. It's like Missouri fall weather. It's beautiful. I love it. Plus, their food is so good, and their tea is second to none. It's so good. Yeah. Oh, nice. I bought myself a favorite. a TSA garnet ring for our 35th wedding anniversary. Ah, see, Deborah gets it. And that's why you've been married for 35 years. Am I right? Manage your expectations. You are married to a human being, not a robot with ESP. Oh my God, Angry Otter. I just had a vision of you trying to pull them up like Ross from Friends. We do get some cooler weather from time to time. They are not summer weather, though. Yeah, yeah, I understand that. Do you? I have a question too. Are they? I mean, when you're putting on leather pants, do you have to like powder your legs? Do you have to like put on? Do you have to put on like do you have to lubricate to get leather pants on? I'm just curious because they seem like they would go skeet skeet skeet. Vaseline, yeah. They got me hooked on that Vaseline. Hello, Claudette. Good morning. Hello. Mwah. How are you today? I hope you're doing great. Goose fat. Yeah, it's something like, something to like if you it has I've never worn leather pants. I've worn a leather skirt though, and luckily I had tights on with it. These are satin lined and have stretch seams, so go on like a pair of jeans. Oh, cool, cool, cool. That is awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, Michael, I'm gonna have to see a picture of those. I bet they're fantastic. Mm. Y'all, I apologize again. I'm just running late this morning. Summer is a little less professional for me. I can't bring my hair down because it's so hot and I have curly hair. Oh, excuse me. And I tend to oversleep and I get like, I don't know, I get sweaty. So yeah, yeah, I just woke up, y'all. I'm gonna smoke. But I'll do the stop cam so that Sandy, a little dust on the bottle. Hi from a rainy Oklahoma. Hey, okay. What's up, okay? Hi, Sandy. Claudette, I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much. Well, okay. Okay, a little bit hungover, but nothing I can't handle. And I have a question for all of you. So yesterday when I went and got that robe, that was me splurging on myself. So I'm going to put a question in the chat. How do you splurge on yourself? How do you splurge on yourself? What do you do? Is it something small? Is it something big? If you're gonna spoil yourself, how do you spoil yourself? I'm curious to know because everybody's got a different. Now this was me sort of splurging on myself, yeah. But usually if I'm gonna splurge on myself, it means a dinner that I didn't cook. Good morning, Robin. Good morning. I'm an avatar for a minute, honey. I splurge buying BBW candles or good perfume. Oh yeah, I love buying good perfume. It doesn't it make you feel? It makes you feel like I don't know, like you can enter any room with confidence. I love good perfume. I absolutely do. I buy jewelry. Robin, I know you do, girl. Yes. Ah, Bath and Body Works candles. That's what you, okay, that's what BBW candles are. So they've got those 3 wick candles that are fantastic. Bath and Body Works does. My splurge is usually clothes, games for my Switch, stuff for my van, fishing equipment, food out, and pints at the pub. Yeah, I spend a lot. Well, yeah, but it's your money. It's your money. Yeah, they've got those 3 wick candles that I had. I had one, and I think it was actually the not the candle, but the holder that I had it in. That was like pow 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 pow, and I was like, "What is going on?" And it was sparkling, and I think the issue with it was that the holder was like overheating or something. So yeah, that was fun. But they smell so good. The kitchen lemon is my absolute favorite. Absolute favorite. It depends. Sometimes it's as simple as going to a restaurant I want. Sometimes it looks like going to an estate sale and spending too much on stuff I have no space for yet. I love it. Robin said she only buys French perfume. Okay, that's the good stuff. They've got some really beautiful scents. I got a sample. I got like this huge thing of samples from Amazon because Glampa and I couldn't decide. We decided we'd switch up our regular perfume scents for some reason and cologne scents. So I got a sample packet for me, and then I got one for him. And everything that he's put on so far has been pretty good. And I got this one. Oh, I fell in love with it. It's a little pink thing, and it is so discontinued. Nobody's making it anymore, and it literally just got discontinued like 4 years ago. But I can't find it on Google. I can't find it on eBay. And if you can't find it on the bay, it probably does not exist. Um, so yeah, good stuff. Sandy, a little dust on the bottle said depends if I have to save for it or not. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Um, Michael dropped a link. I think that's how he spoils himself. No toilet water. That's what I tell my dogs. Yeah, no toilet water. That's what I got. Oh, is that the leather pants or is that your Alfa Romero? Because this dude bought himself a really nice car. Really nice car. I bought myself a Blackstone grill and a charcoal smoker grill for myself for the last 2 Christmas, since I am now the grill master. I love my grills. I did buy myself a few big jewelry pieces. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I love it. I'm awful on the grill, great in the kitchen. So my husband is my grill master. It's weird how we fell into traditional roles, and we're really not traditional role people. It just sort of happened, based on what our talents and our interests were. It's weird. The best is pumpkin pecan waffle, but it's on sold at Halloween time. Oh, it's only sold at Halloween time. Enchanted Linen and Teakwood are also amazing candles. Nice. My favorite perfume is Armani Code. Ooh, okay. Hello. Good. That's a fancy. Texas Val. Good morning. Mwah. Hello, my yellow rose. How you doing this morning? So now I've got Texas, Oklahoma, Illinois, Missouri. Um, let's see. Who else? Wait, what other states do I have represented? And I know I got the UK because the Sophie's in the UK buying Armani coat. Good morning, Val. Thank you so much. They're fancy angry otter. Yeah. Yeah. Was that the pants? Oh, the leather pants. But yes, the Alfa Romero was a splurge too. That car is beautiful. If that represents your taste, then I'm sure the pants are fantastic. Yeah, absolutely. Claudette and Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Jessica. Mwah. Good morning, sugar. Delaware. That's right. We have Delaware represented. Delaware in the house. I share you out. Sharing is caring. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you. Robin is Louisiana and Mississippi. Girl, yes. Okay. She representing the South where they got the good. Louisiana's got the best food. It's so good. It's so good. I have traveled all over the United States and I've been to Mexico, and I can tell you that the very best food that I've ever had on vacation was in Louisiana. Also, the worst sausage I've ever had in my life was in Louisiana. That was that was the roadside sausage from the gas station that somebody made at home. And yeah, do they still make Alfa Romeros? Just thought I hadn't seen one in. It may be a vintage car. Pick one, Robin. She said, "Pick a." You get a picture. You get a one pick. Delaware sucks. Aw. Well, it's got to be at least halfway good because you're there. Jessica is in California. California knows how to party. Good morning, Horizon Picks. How you doing, buddy? It's good to see you. Pennsylvania, although I am originally a Jersey boy. Happy Sunday, folks. Got Pennsylvania in the house with the Philly cream cheese. Let's see, they got Philly cheese and Philly cheesesteak, which everybody loves, the pizza and the sandwich. Yeah. Amy, I think Amy reps Wisconsin, where they made 58,000 BMWs last year. They made 8,000 Alphas. So you don't see them that Alpha. No, mine is a 2021. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, I don't know if y'all have seen, but Angry Otter's got a channel, and you should check out Angry Otter Reacts. And oh my God, it's just so brilliant and smart and pretty. Amy repping Wisconsin this morning. She got the cheese. She got my Packers. Mwah. Go Packers. Good morning, Amy. It's good to see you. Jennifer said, okay, then I'm tri-state, born in PA, lived in New Jersey, and now Delaware. I see. I gotcha. Good morning, Todd. How are you? Mwah. I hope you're doing well this morning. Todd, we're talking about everybody's repping their states. I am a Missouri girl, born and bred. Um, so yeah, we're friendly. We're Midwestern, and usually we don't. We're not going to be in your face if you're full of BS, but we know, and we'll tell each other. So that's it's yeah, and I can make biscuits from scratch. I don't know. That's pretty much yay, Missouri. Oh, number one crime. Yeah, St. Louis, number one crime city in the U.S. So we got that going too. There's bragging rights, right? Linlin, hello. Mwah. Linlin, tell us where you are from in the UK. What's your city? Are you repping Manchester? Are you repping London? Are you repping Cardiff? I don't know. I'm trying to think of British cities. I thought Amy lived in Missouri. Amy does live in Missouri. She's from Wisconsin. No, this Amy Ingstall is from Wisconsin. Hot Mess Thrifter is from Missouri. She lives like down the road from me. Yeah, she's from Wisconsin. Nothing but cheese, beer, and brats. Yeah, I am Peach King. Good. Is it beer o'clock yet? Oh, don't we all wish? Yeah, Amy Hot Mess Thrifter is from Missouri. Yeah, she's from Jefferson County in Missouri, like I am. Well, I'm actually from St. Louis City, and then so when we first moved out here, it was weird because there was like raccoons, and there were no sidewalks. It was so weird to me. I'm like, there's no sidewalk here. What is going on? There is no sidewalk here. Okay. The show me state, right? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. You own an inch of dirt in Missouri. You're a Missourian. You betcha. You betcha. You're a show me homie right there. I own a small patch of trees in the middle of Missouri. I think we all do. No, we don't. Show me the money state. Yeah. Show me the money. I do the thrifting. Beckenham, Kent, South London, 20 minutes by train to central London. Oh, it sounds wonderful. It sounds wonderful. London is on my bucket list. London is definitely on my bucket list. Yeah. And I have a friend. I have a friend who was in. She and her husband. She had been to Europe before, and she had been to Spain when she was in college, and then she'd done a couple of different trips to Europe. Um, so they went to. They did an Ireland, Scotland, uh, England trip, and then they went to Paris for a few days. And she said they went to two different places in Ireland. They went to Dublin and they went somewhere else. They went to somewhere in Scotland, and then they went to and it was like a tourist trap, like a big city in Scotland. And then they went to London and spent a couple of days in Great Britain. And then they went to Paris to round out their trip. And she said, I really thought it was going to be because her people were Irish American, a few years, like super Irish American, and they're like Muldoons and stuff. So she's like, I thought I was gonna love Ireland the most. And she's like, and I did love Ireland. I loved Scotland. We did Paris, and we knew they were going to be fussy, and that was fun and funny. But she said, I was happily surprised by how cool London was. She's like, I thought the when we were in Great Britain, I had the very best time. People were so friendly. And I'm like, really? They're kind of not known for being, overly friendly. And she's like, no, actually, they're a lot more friendly than they pretend that they are even. And I was like, that's awesome. So yeah, she loved Great Britain. Loved it. Sandy is an hour away from Texas and an hour away from Arkansas. Oil wells and silver stacking. Oh, Todd is from Texas too. Okay. He's a great hugger too. Yeah, y'all's food is huge. You will never starve in Texas. You will never starve in Texas. Never. Yeah, and when they say everything's bigger in Texas, man, they lying. They're not lying. Like we went to a nightclub and it was the fun. It was so much fun. They had and we were in our 20s and in a wedding party. But they had one part of the nightclub was country music and it was line dancing and that was a live band. And then one part of the nightclub was like this, it was that sort of nightclub and it was like very modern and city. And then the third part of the nightclub, I love this, was actually a rodeo, like with dirt and cows and chickens, not chickens, but horses and all of that stuff. It was an actual rodeo. And like people just sitting around watching rodeo, drink beer. It was incredible. It was so fun. When I was in London, I used to get the train to Paris all the time. Oh, cool. Thank you, Jessica. London is my home away from home. I used to go every year from 21 until I got married, so like 17 times. I always stayed at Earl's. Court Youth Hostel and considered it like home. Oh, I love that. Yeah, Michael has had a pretty cool life. Absolutely. Yep, no starving in Texas. Even our bellies and butts are bigger in Texas. I'm just saying. Ain't nobody mad. Ain't nobody mad about Texas, honey. Not. Ain't nobody mad about the food in Texas. Yep. And I got a big belly and a big butt. I'm ready. She ready. We passed by a rodeo on our way to our lake lot this weekend. I wanted to stop and watch so bad. Oh, cool. That's awesome. And I love that like a live chat can just bring people together from all over the place. Susie, what's up? I love it. She represents Queen. That was straight out of Brooklyn. I think Susie is right around, if I'm not mistaken, she is in New York, but she's in one of the boroughs. Am I correct about that, Susie? And you don't have to answer that if you're uncomfortable sharing that information. But we were just talking about, where we're from, everybody, and how we spoil ourselves. And good morning, Susie. Mwah. It's good to see you. Yeah, it's so kind of cool in this community and in general, really with the online community, how you can connect with people from everywhere. Everywhere. I've had people from Australia pop in the chat. I've had people from, all over the place. It's just incredible. You're correct. Born and raised. Yep, she's a New York girl. I'm walking here. I love it. Correct. Born and raised. Yes. Jennifer, I've been blessed. I've never been afraid to go out and try new things. I almost froze to death at 19, so I live each day to its fullest. Oh my goodness. I feel a story behind that. Yeah, that's incredible. Claudette's from Canada. Oh, Canada. I follow Charlotte Dobre. And she's a Canadian, and my favorite comedians for some reason always end up being Canadian. Like I just Canadians are fantastic, and like I watched Letterkenny religiously because it was so funny to me. Like I I am charmed by Canadians. 9/10 of the time, I am totally charmed by Canadians. Absolutely love them. Also, your cigarettes taste delicious. I live in mountains 15 miles from the closest town, 65 miles from Walmart. Holy crap. You know what, though? You've probably got the best fishing. I have an aunt and uncle that live in Duncan, Oklahoma. And they were telling me, they're like, you would not believe the fishing in Oklahoma. You don't think, it's people just assume it's like a flat dust thing, and it's not. Actually, it's quite hilly in places, and they said the water just runs crystal clear, and the fishing is just amazing. So yeah, great fishing, and okay, love it, love it, love it. So I had a salty treat today, and I'm just gonna approach it very, very cautiously, and I have to be careful about my words on this, um, because there are some people who do this, and I don't want to make them mad, but also you had an aunt and Duncan. Aw, yeah, my Uncle Dick and Aunt Arlene are over there. Um, it's George, by the way. If you come across any Georges in Duncan, Oklahoma, or if you come across anybody with the last name George, probably related. My dad had 14 brothers and sisters. It's a big family. We're all over the place. Okay, so I'm gonna get a little bit serious, and here's my salty treat. And I'm curious to know what your opinion is on this too. Um, oh wow, it's not a complicated story. My boyfriend kicked me out of Cairo, Michigan to save him. Oh my god. Ugh. Well, we are so glad that you survived, and now blessing us with your angelic presence because we adore you, Michael, my angel. Um, okay, so like I said, this is going to be, might as well make it adult. This is going to be 18 plus. You can tell I woke up way too late for this. um, here's my salty treat today. I keep seeing these family type channels. When I see my grandkids, I and if they're watching YouTube, and thank God they're actually getting a little more away from watching YouTube, which is weird for a YouTube creator to say, but oh, good. Okay, Robin. Yeah, you and me. Y'all know I smoke, and I'll just change the thing to 18 and up on this video. But vaping. Oh my God. Yeah, Jennifer Claudette. Yeah, 2 thumbs down on that boyfriend. Here's the thing. Okay, these people have their kids, and they make them part of like their channel, and they do like a family channel where they've got like, me and my kids are going na 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 na, me and my kids are na 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 na, and then they're like filming content about their children. I'm sorry, but I hate this so much. Stop putting your kids on the internet to make money and exposing them to every you know what who's hunting for children on the entire globe. You're putting a target on your kid, a deliberate target on your kid's back. Why? So you can pay for a fancier car? Yeah. It lights me up, and then I get on it and I'm grinding about it, and then I'm watching, some other things with people and their children, and I'm like, and I understand. There are certain things that if I've seen, like the turtle kid, that was funny. He's like, it's a turtle, but you have to understand too. That kid was not ever. This was before you pinpointed where people were or whatever. B, that kid was actually in a mask, right? So it's not like he was in like full makeup or whatever. You're not going to be able to identify that kid out in the public or whatever. And C, it was just sort of this accidental thing that you see a kid do. It's like the baby coming into the room and turning out or whatever. But it's different if you are naming your children and doing like content based on them and based on your family life, and you're like, and you're like exposing your children time after time after time to the internet. I just don't like it. I just am not a fan. I just think it's so dangerous. It's so dangerous for the kids. Not only that, but now you're exploiting your children for money. So if they don't make content, they can't go to summer camp. Is that what you're saying? And I don't know. I mean, do you think that if you're starving, okay, I get it. If you're starving and you're about to be homeless and you have to figure out any way to feed your kids whatsoever, that's one thing. But I feel like you could still do adult things to feed your kids that, I don't know, maybe the internet pays better. But I'm just saying, I just don't understand why you would deliberately put your children at risk. I have 3 grandkids, and I can't imagine like using them to create content. And here's what I'm talking about. There was this lady, and they had some loss in their family, and I don't remember if it was their pet. I don't remember if it was their pet, like their dog or cat, or if it was like a grandparent or something, or an aunt or uncle. But yeah, even if you're starving, go to McDonald's and work then and get some, maybe some money and some free food. I don't know what the answer is. And I'm not the boss of every situation, but it really bothers me. It really, really bothers me. When I see people in a nice car, nice house, they live in the suburbs, they've got this, beautiful yard. They've got, you're not hurting for money. So why are your kids on the internet? why are you exploiting your children? And this lady, they had just had some sort of a loss in the family, and she's in the car, and her son's in the back seat, and he's crying, and she's literally like, he goes to he she's like, come here, baby, and she goes to hug him, and then she like keeps moving him around. This kid is crying, okay, and she's moving him around to get a good screenshot. She's like, wait, hold on, move over here. Can you imagine not being able to get a comforting hug from your mother until you've been scooched around to the perfect angle? I was livid, and I'm like, what in the world? Right? I just, well, some started as vlogging couples that had children, I will say. And that's a fair argument. Yeah. That is a fair argument. Some were vlogging couples that had children. But I'm wondering, if you're a vlogging couple and you have children, what's the next step? Does that mean it's okay to put the children into the money making enterprise? And like, I grew up poor, so if we wanted anything other than the very, very most basic things, and even some of the most basic things, we had to go to work. I was babysitting, I was doing whatever I could to scrap a dollar. Not that away, but you know what I mean. Like, if somebody's like, hey, I need my sidewalk shoveled, I'd get out there and shovel it, because that's money. So I'm just wondering, hey Swampy, good morning. I'm just wondering, what do you think of all the kids you channels? Kids YouTube channels? What do I think of all the kids YouTube channels? I've seen the kids YouTube channels. It's some of that bothers me too, because these are the problem is, okay, you got grown-ups playing hide and seek in a pretend house. And I've seen that. And that, and they're appealing to, like, 6, 7, 8, 9-year-olds. And I'm like, you know, are we 100% sure? Are we watching all this content to make sure it's all appropriate? I don't know. And far be it from me to tell anybody what content to make and what not to make. That's not my thing. But Claudette, you're right. If they can come up with content, without, like, with just the kids making slime or opening toys, the parents are making money. Yeah, I'm more worried about all these teenagers creating OnlyFans pages and not understand how they will totally destroy them. We stop teaching morals at home, at school, etc. Hey, Tam and Bell. Oh my God, Tam and Bell. Hello, Tam and Bell. We're on a thing about kids on the internet and how, I don't like it. I put once, I did a video, and I did a video on manners, and I had my grandkids, and I put them, and I was getting ready to film them saying please and thank you as like an intro sort of thing. And then I realized that I was exposing their faces. So I ended up putting, I put luchador masks on both of them, and hats and glasses and face mask. And long story short, they were unrecognizable. But after that, I was like, no. And literally I had them on for like 60 seconds, and I hated myself for it. And I'm like, never again. I'm not going to do that. Because I just thought it was cute. They were like, please, thank you. Please, thank you. I'm like, oh, okay. But yeah, the parents are making money. And the question is, what are they doing with that money? I mean, is this like, okay, if you're realistically, if we're going to send you to college, you need this. Although I would probably encourage my child to study harder and get a scholarship or something like that, or start looking into, different things. I think there's something wrong with the sick people out there in the world who would want to use these people content in sick ways. Yes, very much so. But also, I feel like, okay, it's like Shirley Temple's mom, or like any other of those Hollywood moms, or like those Nickelodeon moms that you saw, some of them, where the parent's main concern is making money. And it's not about the It's not about the children. Yeah, no, I'm not talking about home movies with your kids. I'm not talking about like, a little clip of your kid doing something cute. I'm talking about actual expectations on your children to go to work with you and make content. I keep seeing elderly Alzheimer's politicians on the internet too. Oh, honey, the political spectrum's so full of diapers. I don't even care. I don't talk about it. I don't. Honestly, I don't. I'm gonna vote for who I'm gonna vote for. That's it. You're gonna vote for who you're gonna vote for. Good for you. That's your right as an American. Please exercise that right. It's a privilege. Other than that, I don't care. I don't care who you vote for. That's none of my business. And yeah, you're right. They're all, Todd, you're exactly right. They're all, pick the lies you like. That's all I can say, because every politician in the history of politics, and I'm not just talking about American politicians, every politician in the history of politics, from ancient Rome until the Magna Carta, to every single politician in the history of politicians was a liar. They all lied about something. They're all liars. And most humans stretch the truth, but politicians are just an extra layer of BS. And so, yeah, we don't show our kids' faces on YouTube or public social media. Yeah, I don't do it with my grandkids that often. I like I said, I did it the one time. I put mask on them, and it was for less than a minute, and I felt awful about it. I felt horribly guilty about that, and I was like, never again. I can't deal with that. Exactly, Michael. Exploitation, like JonBenet Ramsey. JonBenet Ramsey, yes, and we know what happened to her. And it's not just that you're putting, yeah, and me too. It's not just that you're putting your kids at risk. That's at risk um of being targeted for stalkers and things like that. It's not just that. It's also that you're using your child, rather than paying attention to your child's development. You're using them to make money. You saw that with a lot of that Nickelodeon. Did anybody see that Nickelodeon thing? It was like a docudrama, and they had like 5 parts or 4 parts. I forget what it was called, but it was like that explosive sort of thing that everybody was talking about. How they exposed a bunch of their stuff. I have a feeling that happens with Disney kids. We've all seen Britney Spears implode. I mean, we've seen Lindsay Lohan implode. You can really, really screw up a kid. Amanda Bynes, we've seen her implode. Uh, Drew Barrymore, we saw her implode when she was younger. Um, I would say Jimmy Carter was the only politician that told the truth, and why he wasn't. That's why he wasn't a good politician, probably. Um, yeah, I liked Jimmy Carter, but if somebody's a if you're in politics, you're going to lie about something. I feel like. Yeah, we watched that documentary. Some of the sick stuff that was done, right? It was so crazy. And yeah, it just, well, look at Kate plus eight, her family destroyed, probably because of being all the TV on TV all those years. And that's the thing. It's yeah, Claudette, I totally agree. And Brittany, yeah, Brittany Spears. I mean, oh, leave Brittany alone. But really, I think that you can psychologically screw somebody for life, and you can really traumatize them, simply by depending on your child for the income for the family. And some people are like, well, otherwise we have no income. Really, really, I wonder if maybe mom couldn't get, if your mom needs to get 2 jobs and scrub floors for a living. I don't know. I understand that some people are not able to do that, but now we're specifying it to where it gets a tiny thing, and I just feel like if you're a parent, you should do every single thing that you can, um, to support your children financially. so that they're not the ones who are dependent on, because then you're putting children in a very adult situation that they are not prepared for. They're not prepared to be the breadwinner for your family. They're not prepared to put food on the table for you. I just, yeah, hell, you can find ways to make money. Yeah, you can resell, right, Jennifer? Resell. I'm an old country Tennessee boy. My kids can do whatever they want at 18, but before then, they do not have an internet presence. That's my grandkids are they do gaming. My They do some TikTok, they like to have fun with that, but they're very much in the kids atmosphere of that, and they're very much blocked for adult content. The only adult content that my grandchildren see is their Glamma on YouTube. Occasionally they'll come and watch me, and yeah, and that's about it. And you can tell when they're watching me, because if I see my granddaughter in the chat, I clean it up really quick. Like, um, she knows me in person, and she knows that occasionally, yeah, they're children. Let them be children. That's I don't like the idea of people exploiting their children for money, and more so the idea of making your child a part of the bring home the bread team. That's a huge responsibility. Plus, the parents aren't working. They're like, "Oh, I'm the kid's manager." Really, really. Mm, okay. You can't do anything else for money. You have to have a house in the suburbs. You have to have the nicest, newest car. Really, really. And to do that, you have to exploit your kids. No, you don't. You don't have to do any of that. I'd rather have my kids in a one-bedroom apartment, knowing that they were financially safe, knowing that they were not being depended on to provide for my family, and work 3 or 4 jobs. I'd rather do that. I can scrub a floor. I ain't scared. I don't let them use Discord for gaming. The other children are not necessarily children. Yeah, you're right about that. You are right about that. Yeah, it's again, it's a sensitive topic, and some people are going to disagree with me, maybe because maybe there are exceptions to every rule. I don't know, but I just feel like, stop content creating with children. Stop exploiting children. This is We claim to care so much about children's lives in this country, but we're not afraid to we're not afraid to let them prance around on the internet. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm going to stop now, because I am going to end up stepping on some toes and probably using some language that is not YouTube friendly. Um, it just, I don't know, it just rubs me the wrong, wrong, wrong way. I got a job at a daycare and had my kids with me and had free daycare, pretty much made money for teaching my own kids. Yeah. See, that's, you can drive a school bus, you can make lunches, I don't know, there are 1,000 things that you can do for work. Sling trash, honey. Trash men make a lot of money. I hate to say that, but do what you got to do. That's the thing. You do what you got to do. You hustle to survive with your kids. And I understand that some people are put in a situation where it's like, they're escaping abuse, and they've got no education and whatever, and they're just starting from literally from point A, and now they've got 2 kids in tow. I get that. I do. I get that there are really desperate situations. Could you please quit barking in the middle of my show? Thank you. Okay. Go drink from the toilet, because I know you're going to anyway. There she goes. Sorry if you hear slurping. It's a thing. Um, yeah, I used to clean a church, and yes, and I really have shoveled snow. I've babysat. You know, I've you mow a lawn. You do You do whatever you've got to do. We only care about unborn children's lives. Once born, we kind of forget that they're around. Just saying, okay, taking my soapbox, walking up. That's yeah, Michael. I think you and I were both thinking the same thing. I was not interested in being a daycare teacher at all, and ended up doing it for years. Yeah, that's a really cool thing. That's a cool thing, Jennifer. Yeah, I know. There was a girl that I was friends with in high school. I mean, she's still like one of just the best people in the world, and I just love her. Um, her mom, her mom was a single mom. She was with her dad for long enough for her dad to have two kids with her, and then he took off and divorced her. So she was a divorced mom with two kids, trying to make it. And she worked a full time job. Plus, she cleaned churches on the weekend. Plus, she cleaned offices and bingo halls. Plus, she had another job too. I mean, this woman was always working. She was never not working. But those kids grew up knowing that they did not have to support their mother. They didn't have to put the food on the table. She was going to do that. And they may not have had the best of everything, but by golly, they had what they needed. And more importantly, they had the security of knowing that their mother wasn't depending on them for an income. Now, of course, when you grew up in a poor neighborhood, when you turn 15, 16 years old, everybody gets a job. And they were no exception. So we I don't know. I waited tables at Shoney's when I was, because you could actually get a job at Shoney's with the work permit when you were 15. So I waited tables at Shoney's from the time I was 15 till the time I was 17, and then I went to work for Hardee's, and and uh, and that was nice. And then, I mean, it was fun. When you're a teenager and you work with a bunch of other teenagers, no matter where you are, it's fun. And then I went to work for a dry cleaner, and then I got into the hotel business, and I never looked back. I love the hotel business. Angry, I agree. That's awesome, Jennifer. Jennifer, I was a daycare teacher for a year. Yeah, you do what you gotta. You could do what you gotta do to support your children. I just don't think that making your children financially support you, and especially if you're not in like a desperate, homeless, you know, we're not going to eat if somebody doesn't get us a couple bucks. I, if you're not in a super desperate situation, and you're in like a situation where you're already financially okay, it just seems, I don't know, it just seems a little, it seems crazy, like the parents are lacking some sort of basic thing to be able to exploit their kids like that. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But man, it feels wrong. I waitressed most of my life and loved it. Yeah, Claudette, you must be like me, like just naturally customer service sort of oriented. I was, and I took that skill and I ran with it. My first job was at McDonald's. Yeah. But do you remember like the other teenagers being there and having fun and whatever? At age 8, I learned leather working after school. Wow, that's like pioneer stuff. At 11, I learned oil painting. At 13, I worked at a local pizza place earning money to go to water park all summer, all skills. You know what? Yeah. My mom was one of 8, and she left school at 14 to work to help the family. We were made to get weekend jobs at school when we were kids, but we kept the money. Yeah. Remember Whatever Happened to Baby Jane? Oh, yes. I love that movie. Oh, my God. Betty and Joan. Oh, I love that movie. They were both fantastic. Yeah. Yeah. The consequences of putting a child on in the spotlight. There are consequences to put an adult in the spotlight, and half the time, most of the time, many times they act stank and they have no idea, and they get surrounded by yes men, and they don't know what to do, and it affects you psychologically. Can you imagine what it would do to a developing child whose frontal lobe isn't even developed yet? I mean, it's just crazy. My mom was the oldest of 9. Yeah. My dad was the oldest son in a he had, like I said, he had 14 brothers and sisters. He had 15. He had four older sisters, and then him, and then a variety of different, boy, girl, that sort of thing. But it's not. He did quit school and go to work and all of that stuff, and it was what it was. They were a farm family, itinerant farm family, and that's what it was. What it was. Oh, that's cool, Michael. You worked hard at a young age, then had fun at the water parks. Yeah. When I see kids working at Six Flags, and then they get like the free passes and stuff. Claudette, my friends were all at home playing Nintendo while I was having the time of my life and had a killer tan. Nice. Nice. Yeah, it's not that I am, it's not that I'm against kids having jobs. If they want some extra money and they want to work for it, absolutely, it's a great job. With my grandkids, if they want some extra money, either they go up to Glampa and they go, "Hey, can I have 20?" Or if there's something that they want to save up for or whatever, I'm like, okay, well, I've got a deck full of watermelons now. You can go out and pick watermelons for me, and I'll give you this or whatever. Um, Yeah. When I first started as a dental nurse trainee, I earned $7. Oh, £7 50 a week. Wow. Wow. And had to give my mom half. Oh, whoa. Your stepmom. Wow. You were the smart kids. Yeah. Really. So yeah, that was just something that I don't know. I hated the idea of it. I hated seeing it. And especially, watching this mom, like, not comfort her child, but make him pose for like the perfect screenshot. And then she's like, and he's like, and I'm like, girl, comfort your child. Just stop the camera and comfort your child. What is wrong with you? What's wrong with you? That's psychotic. Your baby's crying because he lost somebody. That's an emotional thing. He lost either a pet or a grandparent, one of the two, I think. And your baby's crying in grief, and you're making him pose for the camera so you can get the perfect screenshot. It was gross. That was gross. That was absolutely gross to see. And I was livid. I was mad for hours about that. And I don't get mad for hours about anything, really. And so, yeah, that was my salty treat. I can tell you that my sales this week were pretty good. I can see the pickup that's starting to happen with the back to school stuff. And so we're starting to see the back to school stuff. Shoes specifically are going out. Shorts. Some kids want new shorts. They've worn new shorts all summer, I guess. And in a lot of states, it's not really going to get cold until like, probably the end of October. So, they're looking for shorts, they're looking for jeans. You must have, the trend where the people were smashing eggs to cook on their kids' heads. No, I would also be livid about that. I don't like that whenever they take the kids and they're like, making fun of the kids for the camera. Like when they that whole thing and they're like, "Oh, tell your kids you lost their Halloween candy and see what happens." I don't like that. I don't like that. I'm sorry. Don't make your kid cry on purpose. Don't traumatize your child for views, for clicks. That's ridiculous. Claudette, I left home at 15 and paid my own rent and worked. I never had any help. I worked hard and party hard. Yeah, I bet you did. You know what though? I bet it made you strong. I bet you are so strong. There was 8 of us kids. My 17-year-old sister left with me that day, so we shared everything. Yeah. I believe that, that what doesn't kill us does make us stronger. I know that despite the fact that I'm retired right now, if I had to go back to work, I could go back to work in a heartbeat. Once you're in the hotel business for a while too, you just get that rep. And you've always got a job in the hotel business. Literally, like once you're in it for man, you're in it for life if you want, and I've always had a fantastic time. There are days when obviously you have, the I'd like to speak to the manager people, when you have people who are mentally disturbed and think that screaming at a desk clerk is cool, stuff like that. But yeah, their parents acting like they're going to crack an egg on the bowl and then cracking on the kids' foreheads who are not expecting it. Yeah, okay, take away your child's dignity for clicks. That's cool. I'm sorry, I don't like that. I can tell you right now, I do not like that. There were so many people making those videos. Why? Why would you do that to your kids? Do you realize that that's abusive? That you're like, that you're like cracking an egg on it. Do you realize that that doesn't feel good? What is wrong with people? Honestly, what is wrong with people? Oh, it's a trend. Oh, well, that makes it better. Yeah. You and I both know how I feel about that, child. I'm like, I'm sorry. Don't stop that. Stop exploiting your children for fun and profit. Stop. Please stop. Please stop. I got kicked out for being gay at 16, so I learned to be a survivor. So I learned things to better myself and give me skills, traits I benefit to this day. Yes, absolutely. We see that a lot. We see that so much with the LGBTQ plus community that a lot of them do get kicked out, and especially if you come from a religiously conservative family, you will sometimes they end up on the streets. My brother came out when he was 18. He moved in with his boyfriend, but my parents would. The one thing about my parents is they would never, ever, ever kick any of us kids out. They wouldn't. Absolutely not. They may have been poor, but by Lord, they had a couch or a mattress or a bowl of beans or some cornbread or something for every kid that walked in their house, because and they would never kick their own children out, and they believed that being gay was a choice, and they had conservative evangelical Christian views about it, but they would never have kicked their children out. I just don't understand how, what kind of sea turtle are you that you can turn your back on your own children? I don't get that. And you have turned out amazing, Michael. You have turned out to be one of the kindest and most wonderful people. It's such a privilege to be your friend. It is very much a privilege. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and finish waking up all the way. But I only made peace with my parents when I got married. My mom adored Kevin because he was Jewish. Yeah, I can see that. And sometimes as parents, we make huge, horrible mistakes that we will spend the rest of our lives regretting. So hopefully they came to realize what a horrible mistake they had made. But yeah, I don't know. So yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna go get probably a piece of toast, and some oatmeal, and see what else is see who's on the internet exploiting their child today. I'm gonna go watch some decent content and watch some other resellers, get caught up with that. But I do wish you all a wonderful day. Thank you so much for your patience with the late start. And you know you absolutely so healthy. Yeah, it's a healthy start. I also have like fried Italian potatoes and pasta in there from last night, so that's probably gonna be my lunch. Hey Kelly, hi, there you are. You're probably working and lurking. Kelly's got so much. Kelly does a lot of really, really cool stuff. So Yeah, much love to everybody. And if you don't know, you better ask somebody, because no matter what you go, where you go, and what you do, I hope you never forget that, Glamma loves you. Have a great Sunday. Bye.